Okay, everyone, let's do supplies. We're going to adjust for supplies. You will notice some patterns that repeat in accounting that you can use to your advantage. Supplies is an asset, right? It's an asset account. It's got a normal debit balance. You will notice too that prepaid insurance, right? Prepaid insurance is an asset. It's something that you pay ahead of time and then get the benefit over time. You buy supplies, right? And then you get the benefit of them over time. So in many regards, this problem is kind of just like the prepaid one. This is one of the reasons I put them on top of each other. And this is the exact numbers we used for the prepaid insurance. And this is where we're going to compute our supplies expense at the end of the cycle. So let's do the outside first. That's the easy. Beginning balance of supplies is 3,400. And ending balance on hand is 2,300. That's how much is left at the end. And then in the middle, you had a transaction. During the year, Callisway purchased supplies for 6,400. Okay, so you know that in the middle of the year, you purchased some more supplies. Well, if we purchase, we know that's going to be lowering 6,400 cash, right? And then we're going to have 6,400 in additional supplies. Now, the way the problem is set up is it's asking you if this is the beginning and this is the ending, and we purchased this much during the year, how much is true supplies expense? You know, it's just like here. You see just like here, you're doing the exact same thing again. So what you do is you take 3,400, add to it the 6,400, and then subtract 2,300. That means that there's some time during the year there had to be an entry for 7,500 to this account. If this entry had never been done, we would not have gotten down to 2,300. So if supplies dropped by 7,500, that means that's our supply expense. And then all we got to do now is book away. I was going to point out here again, just like before, if you started with 3,400 at some point here, we had to have booked a credit to 3,400. So this is not an unbalanced entry. Somewhere here in the past, we had to book 3,400, and I didn't show it explicitly here. I could have done this and then shown that. In other words, a debit and a credit, corresponding credit. The reason I show this just so you see that things balance, right? So you buy some more supplies, you pay for it, you end up with 2,300. This is what happened when you counted it at the end of the year, so the difference is 7,500. 7,500, 7,500. This is supplies expense. Okay, and as far as the entry that you're making, right? One of the things that can get very confusing for students, and you need to watch out for it, is you get confused as to what exactly you're booking as a credit here. This is where it can really help you to use a T account, because if you come over here, you can see that you're debiting supplies for 7,500, right? Supplies expense 7,500, and then we lower supplies by 7,500. So lower the supplies account. As far as what we're actually doing here, what we're doing is we're recording supplies expense. So just look, record supplies expense, and that concludes that one. Again, what will really help you here is if you see the patterns. You see the patterns of, you start with the beginning balance, you go with the ending balance. This is what it's in the supplies account. A transaction happened in the middle of the year. Here you see the transaction that happened in the middle of the year. And then the difference is what you take for supplies expense, or in this case, for insurance expense. I hope you found this useful.